Hey guys, how's it going? It's the 10th of December today. I thought I'd show you around the greenhouse because I've been doing some clearing out. So, firstly, what I've done so far is this staging here, which is actually really flimsy. It's like aluminium. This was in the corner here, and the wooden staging that you can see was pushed right back into the far corner. Thing is, I don't really need that much space as like a staging. I ended up just putting like other plants on top of it. So some of the big plants I ended up putting on top, and to be honest, I don't really need to do that. So I've freed up that corner now, and actually it's looking quite nice. It will have slats all the way along, just because I've got a few plants underneath that I'm letting the light through. But yeah, so this will be my seed sowing stage. Ready for the annual veg like tomatoes and courgettes and all that stuff. Well, they're fruit technically, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that'll be where that's going to happen. And then I've moved some of the citrus over into that corner. The citrus are at the back mostly because they're evergreen. When everything else is leafless, you can see all these figs here don't have leaves. The light coming through will hit all of these, and they'll get a good amount of light. Whilst all of these plants are dormant. And to be fair, you've got to remember that these figs probably won't even wake up till like May. So, you know, these plants have a good few months of we get some sunny days in the winter and early spring. So yeah, and also the grapefruit's the tallest. I don't really like grapefruit, to be honest. So apparently some people are genetically predisposed to dislike grapefruit more than others. I think it's something to do with a certain gene that can affect how you taste a certain, I don't know what it is, certain level of bitterness. For me, grapefruits, you bite into them, you get a little bit of sweetness at first, and then it just hits you with this like really horrible bitterness. So I'm not a massive fan, but I have got this plant and it's got two on it. Probably ready. They're probably ready at the minute. I don't know. They've been hanging on for ages. I suppose I could probably pick them, but they look quite nice. Anyway, so grapefruit. This is a lemon. It's actually got loads of flowers on at the minute, which is interesting. And then calamondin here, which is like little tiny oranges. I had a few fruit set actually, but they were so sour. You can see there's one little one in there, just too sour. Satsuma. I'm really looking forward to this plant this year, next year, whatever, to see if it'll produce some fruit for me, because it's meant to be one of the hardiest sort of citrus. And then in the corner I've got an orange, and then I've got a lemon here which had defoliated completely and it's coming back fairly well. But I'm not really watering these now. Only if the leaves start to wilt, then I give them a little bit of water. But apart from that, I kind of leave them alone. And then my figs, the plan this year really is to have less plants, but giving them each, I was going to say high quality of life. That sounds really weird. But yeah, basically more space, more light, which I'm hoping will give me a good crop on each plant, and also help me control the fig moth caterpillar better this year, because when plants are right at the back out of the way, it's really difficult to get to the caterpillars, and I think then they kind of just multiply and spread. So I'm also probably going to have some sort of organic spray, like homemade garlic spray or something like that, to try and control them this year, because they did reduce my crop last year significantly, probably at least in half. So yeah, I will hopefully be able to control them slightly better. And I've only got figs in here that produce tasty figs. So these two are cuttings from last year. This one's a Smith, and quite excited for that to start producing well. This is a true Black Madeira. Both of these, thank you, Carl, if you're watching, they're from you. My Vidino del Nord, which is a lot lower because I took cuttings for some people, but it's I'm sure it'll bounce back and produce quite a lot for me. It's probably one of my favourite. This is Calderon Ramada. or Goldedama Ramada. I think people say it differently depending if you want the French or Spanish way. This is very late for me. I was possibly not going to keep it, but the figs, the couple of figs that I did have from it were very tasty, and they have like a slight coconutty taste, which I really loved. So I am keeping it in here. And this is Coldedam Gigantina, which didn't produce for me this season, but did 2 years ago, I think, and it was very tasty. So keeping that. So yeah, there we go. There are most of my figs. I've got a nectarine here, which I might put outside once spring rolls around. You've got to keep peaches and nectarines fairly dry in the winter and early spring, because they can get peach leaf curl quite bad, which will kind of reduce your yield. This peach here, this is Peregrine peach. It's a very tasty peach. It's getting a bit big, but I can't prune it in the winter because you're not meant to prune stone fruits in the winter because they might get silver leaf disease. So yeah, I'm going to have to prune this in the spring, but it gave me a really good crop of peaches this year. So there we go. That's all the pots, really. And there's a couple of things like hardy gingers here, which are from my allotment. And then under here is a Musa velutina banana. So it's just chilling out. But yeah, there we go. I'll try and keep this not too long. That's where I am with things. I've composted a fake Black Madeira I had. It's in the overflowing compost heap now. Yeah, it wasn't really producing very tasty figs. Anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. Lots of love, lots of peace, and I'll speak to you soon.